everyone. Welcome to IC Stories Manila, episode 43. Today, we are going to be talking about a very, very special project here in ICP. I'm sure if you have been in the space for a while, you've heard of it. Imposible po na hindi, because we're going to be talking about DMAIL. Joining us mamaya is someone that we met during the event, and we also interviewed him before. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Pero mamaya na natin siya introduce. All right. Maraming salamat po to everyone who's tuning in, whether you're watching this live or team replay. Sa mga nag-attendance check, of course, si Scout Martin leading that every time, walang palya. Thank you so much, Scout Martin. We appreciate you. And si Esther ZICP, maraming salamat. And I'm sure you've seen sa posts natin, if you send in one of the few or one of the best questions sa ating community, we're gonna be giving out ICP for you guys. Espeso, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Now, help me welcome Sir Nelson, the co-founder of ICP Hub Philippines. Sir Nelson, how are you? How was ICP?
Hi, magandang gabi. Yeah, ICP is very thriving, no? Ang dami nating news, ang dami nating balita. Marami tayong articles actually na published. Business World, GMA News, Malaya, and a lot more are coming, no? Ito ay tungkol sa hackathon natin.
Mhm.
And if you'll just Google or check out, no, type lang ICP Hub Philippines, you'll be able to check out the articles or follow us on our socials for the
Mhm.
articles. And gusto ko lang i-mention na yung hackathon natin is still ongoing. This is a nationwide hackathon. Yung workshop natin mangyayari on Monday, workshop 4 and 5, that will be discussing yung front end and back end deployment ng inyong smart contracts. So very critical to for those participating or aspiring na developers kasi marami kayong matututunan dito on Monday and Tuesday. Earlier, I presented mga around 2 hours sa University of Visayas about the fundamentals of
Wow.
blockchain and ICP. Around 60 plus students, participants who joined. And nakakatuwa kasi we were able to bring free education. No? We were able to evangelize again to mga students na future builders of Web3. And hopefully, no, at least 1%, maybe 2%, can be life-changing for them, no? At some point in time, maybe next year. Do you remember yung nag-attend tayo ng seminar about ICP, about blockchain? Why not ito na lang gawin natin? It might be the biggest project coming from the Philippines, and it can change the narrative, no? For Filipinos from being users, not only users, but also Web3 builders. And gusto ko
Yes.
lang i-add, of course, yung guest natin right now, na-meet natin sa Korea, annyeonghaseyo.
네,
And yeah,
안녕하세요.
yeah. Taga-Korea siya, Korea-based, and nakakatuwa and very exciting. Marami kayong matutunan, maraming insights si Daniel, and one of the OGs, no, since Genesis na ICP, and one of the biggest projects actually here in ICP. And yeah, looking forward to it.
Yes, we do have a very, very exciting episode, especially kung builder kayo kasi his story is truly inspiring. And like Sir said, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, I think they are. So we're going to be talking the numbers, laying it down for you guys maya maya. So yeah, a lot of things are happening with ICP Hub Philippines. So make sure to join our community. And ayun nga, meron po tayong ongoing hackathon. If this is perfect for you or if you know someone who can be joining, please do share yung post na yon. Anyway, huwag nating pahabain pa. Like we said, today we're going to be talking about DMAIL, and joining us here is a co-founder and CEO, Daniel. Hey, Dan, how are you?
Hi,
Hey,
everyone.
Daniel.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you ever so much for having me on. And I'm Young Asewa, as you just said.
Annyeonghaseyo.
Yeah.
Yes.
반갑습니다. Is that
Yeah,
how you say it?
감사합니다.
Uh, yeah, so Dan, we go way back. You've been in the show before, and now
Mhm.
we've both rebranded. But for everyone to re-meet you, can you introduce yourself again?
Yeah, hi, everyone. My name's Daniel. I'm now the COO of DMAIL Network. And, it's for anyone who knows, my journey in this space, it's been a very interesting one. So, you mentioned just now, Nelson, during the introduction, that I've been around in some form or another in the ICP community since Genesis, really. And basically, Dukakis Tejada reached out to me in 2021 when he was building the Dfinity community. For those EOGs out there who remember that, and we took that community at the end of a bear market, essentially. We took it to more than 60,000 strong community. And it was a very vibrant community. It's since been rebranded to Coin Hustle. So you might be aware of that. And I think the work that I did there was recognized. I worked very hard, and at that point, it was a kind of a hobby for me to be involved in ICP. And here's where it gets really interesting, and here's where the story starts. So I was in the Web 2 world. I was very well settled and satisfied with what I was doing. I was an assistant professor teaching literature, of all things, in South Korea.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, hence the at the start, right? I'm based in Busan. But yeah, so not looking for a career change as such, but one thing led to another, and I remember so first of all, my foray into DMAIL started pretty much directly after Genesis. I got talking with the team. I realized that they won the Wanjiang Hackathon, which is no mean feat, right? That's a big event in China, and they won it. And this was in 2021, and I was aware of the encrypted email market, and that's grown at a compound annual growth rate of, I believe it's around 20% a year, right? So by 2028, it's going to be worth $19 billion US. That's just for a niche market of encrypted email. But I knew that they were doing so much more than just encrypted email. I knew that it was going to be a Web3 messaging platform, and I saw an opening, I saw a niche, and I saw that if something could be multi-chain and could fill that niche, then it could be a very successful project. Fast forward, obviously, almost 3 years later. I was an angel investor, by the way. So I put my money where my mouth is. Anyone is welcome to simply go on Google and write, early round investors in DMAIL, and they can see that I was an angel investor. So I put my money where my mouth was. I knew the potential of the project back, about 3 years ago, and I maintained a fantastic relationship with the team, and actually came on board in a kind of advisory capacity for the team. There were certain skill sets that I was able to contribute. I was involved in marketing in Web 2 space, and then directly after working with Dukakis in the Dfinity community, Max Chamberlain of in what was then Infinity Swap and now has been rebranded to Bitfinity Network, and Alex Rietman, they reached out to me and said, we think what you've done is with the community is very good. Why don't you come on board marketing? So it all happened so fast, and I saw this great opportunity, and I worked with Bitfinity Network for about 15 months, Infinity Swap as it were then.
Yeah.
And then really what happened was, I was always aware of the kind of situation with DMAIL. I was obviously keeping a keen eye on them as an investor, but I really saw an opportunity to go multi-chain with them and to grow out this incredible platform which I'd invested in 3 years earlier, and be a part of the driving force to really boost the full potential of this project. And I'm happy to say that, as I say, I think it was May 2021. So where are we now? 2024. So yeah, almost 3 years. And I'm happy to say that DMAIL has surpassed my expectations as an investor. We now have 9.25 million users, registered users. We are the number one top ranked social fi project out there. Number one. anyone's welcome to see that what I'm saying is the truth. They can go on DAP Radar, look at the 30-day UAWs for SocialFi, and you'll see that DMail is far and away number one ranked. And I mean that's really something, isn't it? The top ranked SocialFi project out there across all chains.
Of
And what's
course.
and
That is amazing.
what's really quite incredible about this is that we're deployed on 25 chains now. And actually,
Wow.
quite a few of those chains are not accounted for in the DAP Radar data. So our actual figure is actually much higher than 1.7 million monthly active users, if you can believe that.
Wow.
Quite a bit more. So, to say that we've built something which is useful, I think is an understatement. Otherwise, we wouldn't have that kind of traction. But it's not only about the users that are coming in, it's the transaction volume as well. We've generated, I believe, 186 million message transactions at this point.
Yeah.
So chains love us because, of course, we're generating all of that traffic, and we've got a lot of friends. But obviously, we've built out on ICP. ICP is what has made it all possible. I always tout the reverse gas model as a major reason why we built on ICP. You're not going to encourage a lot of people to use your platform if they have to pay to send a message, right? It doesn't make any sense.
For sure. Yeah.
So I and just like the lightning fast speed of ICP and the storage capacity of ICP as well. Let's not forget about that. And I think we account for a major portion of the canisters on ICP. I believe it's more than all of the other projects combined, and some
Wow.
are the canisters that are deployed by contributed by DMail. So yeah, that's really how it's come to a full circle. And now I've been at DMail at a full-time capacity as the COO for about a year. During that time, we've grown from 300,000 users to, like I say, more than 9.25 million. And wow. I'm very proud of the team and what they've accomplished. And I think the best is yet to come, though. That's the crazy thing about this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited to talk more about like where DMail is now and plans for the future. But before we do that, for people just coming in, can you give us a glimpse of what DMail is and the difference of DMail versus, the more ones that we are used to, or the ones we're using now, such as Gmail?
Yeah, sure. So the issue with Gmail, right, is when I use Gmail, it's same as anybody in this room who's watching today. It's flawless. The UI and the UX is absolutely flawless. So we're not trying to reinvent the wheel there. Know that the account abstraction has been something that has been a major push in Web3. We have to simplify the UI and the UX. The onboarding of users is going to come from outside of Web3. That's how we grow, right? We can make as many gateways as possible in Web3, but if we're going to get to 100 million
mass
plus
adoption,
users, then it's good. A lot of them are going to have to be new onboards from outside of Web3, and so we're acutely aware of that, and we also want to keep it as simple as possible. So we've kept the UI and the UX very similar to what you'd have in your Web2 email platforms. The difference with us is that our value proposition is altogether different. So with Gmail, we've always understood that using Gmail or social networks on Web2, there's a trade-off, right? It's like, okay, I get to use this free product, but I am also the product. My data is being farmed, and it's being used by others, by a company which has a very centralized revenue stream, and so just a few people get rich from my activity, and millions of other people like me. And until now, it's been a trade-off that most people are willing to make. We understand that we're being used, basically, but we do it anyway because what's the alternative? Well, I think that the alternative is quickly becoming projects like DMAIL. And so at the moment, I'm actually using both Gmail and DMAIL. And the main reason why I'm using both is that DMAIL is already capable of doing things that Gmail can't. Cross-chain messaging, for example, P2P via wallets and DIDs. That's something you cannot do on Gmail. So that's just one example. Now, but going back to the value proposition, with Gmail, so your data's being farmed, and you are the product. DMail flips that model on its head and says, okay, instead of making you the product, we're going to empower you. We're going to allow you to own all of your own data. You're going to have decentralized storage. You own your own inbox. You own your own data. And wait for it. Here's the best part. Tokenization on the platform will be equitably distributed, right? So that's what tokenization offers, right? So think about this. Imagine you're on a platform. You engage with, an email, or a marketing mail, which has been sent to your inbox, and they're subdivided into different folders. So there's a subscription folder. You have to subscribe. None of it's unsolicited, like you might have in Web 2. You have to be able to subscribe to the project first. Then the project is able to send messages directly to your wallet or DID when it's connected to the DApp across 25 chains, like I mentioned. So we are extremely interconnected, including WorldCoin, including even account abstraction. We have Web 2 access as well through Gmail. So I shouldn't talk too badly about them. But as I say, the recognition is that most users will be onboarded through Web 2. So we're not really in competition with Gmail. We're just offering a different value proposition. So anyway, you access the in the future, when the platform is tokenized, you'll be able to open a marketing mail which has been sent to you, which of course you're interested in because you've subscribed to it.
Yeah.
You can get a token reward. It could be like, let's say, 1 token or a fraction of a token. Now, here's the fun part. Within those marketing mails can be embedded campaigns, can be embedded airdrops, can be embedded all sorts of goodies.
Yeah.
So people will the opening rate is going to be astronomical. Now, you might think, okay, P2P, wallets, DIDs, okay, that's a bit of a niche. That sounds cool. But is it really better than Web 2 marketing? And my simple answer is yes, because first of all, it's going direct into the inbox. I have actually been an editor-in-chief, and I know, similar to you guys, I'm pretty sure you're in marketing, you know that if you send out emails, email newsletters, that first of all, to build a newsletter of more than 10,000 people is difficult, right? 10,000 people or more is difficult. It takes time, right?
Yeah.
And of those 10,000 people, you're going to be lucky to hit more than a 25-30% opening rate, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, and it's expensive. The newsletter that I use for the blog, which I don't really use anymore, but if you have more than 10,000 users, it's $199 a month.
Wow.
So basically, $199 a month, right? For 10,000 users, let's say you get a 30% opening rate. So you're paying $200 a month to send it out to 3,000 people who might or might not be interested in the content you send. That's incredibly expensive and not cost effective.
Yeah.
Now, if you are now DMAIL on our subscription hub, we have 3.5 million people registered, subscribed to us. Can you imagine the cost of that on Web 2 to send out an email?
Oh my God.
Impossible.
It's going to be so expensive and unsustainable for projects.
Yeah. And so just to finish, the value proposition is that, in the future, businesses are able to grow these massive user bases. We already have, or subscriber bases. We already have more than 50 projects with 100,000 or more subscribers on our subscription hub, which is our B-end product.
Okay.
But then the users in the future are going to be immensely rewarded by tokenized activity. So it could be that you guys set up a subscription hub, for example, and you say, okay, we're going to give token rewards for marketing. So we'll set aside X amount of a budget of some of our tokens for marketing, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much up to the project how they do it. And I think
Mhm.
but I think you can see where this is going. It's a
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
tremendous value
I
proposition. There's incentivized engagement
yeah,
and the opening rates will be much higher as a result. So
I
yeah,
agree. I think
Yes, so many exciting things.
this is something that we can do as well for our hub, Julian, of course. And we've been planning lately the newsletter that we will be launching. I think we have to create a subscription hub in DMail, and yeah, it'll be cost efficient and everything. We can take advantage of all the benefits of it, and it's on Web3. And I agree. I think Web3 projects need to use other Web3 services, and
yeah,
not like the ones
Yeah,
happening right
yeah.
now. Web3 projects
yeah,
are still using traditional services, which is kind of weird. Your thoughts on it,
yeah,
Dan?
yeah. I think so. We use Web2 services, and I think that
Yeah.
there's of course there's a transition phase, and I even mentioned, I was honest and said that I still use Gmail, and the reason I
Oh
use
yeah.
Gmail is for Google Calendar. I think
Uh-huh.
in the future on our roadmap we've got a full product suite is going to be built out within probably 6 months, um, uh, probably at the latest 6 months, where you will have a decentralized workstation like a calendar and documents and so
I
on like
was gonna ask that.
hmm
Because that's what I
That's
love
important.
about, Gmail. It
yeah,
incorporates in your calendar. So I'm so excited that you mentioned that. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, and so that's the reason that I still use Gmail, right? I need to schedule. I need that connection with
Agree.
apps
Yeah.
like with apps like Calendly, which otherwise I get
Mm-hmm.
lost. And so of course I still have to use it. But I think that as well as the value proposition that I mentioned, where you can be empowered by your own data and so on and so forth. Of course, we understand we need to build out a product suite which resembles Gmail. So
Yeah.
you've got everything that Gmail has, but you have the
Mm-hmm.
Web3 layer on top. So you have
Even
tokenized
more.
assets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have asset swaps and transfers in the future, cross-chain asset swaps and transfers. We'll have, we'll even have a marketplace where you can, trade your NFT domain. So NFT domain on Dmail is actually your personalized email address. So mine is daniel@dmail.ai, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not for
Mm.
sale. That's mine. Yeah, I'm not selling. But I think it would get a good price. There's a lot of Daniels in the
Oh,
world,
for
and
sure.
we've sold more than 2 million domains already. So we are a business focused project in terms of our revenue streams in the future is going to be very much business focused. But we've also obviously people have been very people have really enjoyed buying the personalized domains as well. And yeah, don't forget that we do have 20 that we're going to give away to your community tonight, 8 to 11 digit ones. So happy to give those away. They're normally $5.49. We'll waive the fee, give them away to 20 of your best viewers tonight.
That is amazing. Thank you
Yes.
for that. Dan, I just want to highlight. So we've been talking or dropping some of the numbers, but so that everyone could digest just how successful the email is as a multi-chain app, or just what this thing that you've built. Let's go back with the numbers. You have 9.52 million D-mailers,
Yeah,
186.94 million messages interacted, 112 million on-chain transactions, and 2.89 million NFT domains minted.
yeah.
With those numbers, how does that feel? As the co-founder, being one of the OGs in the space, how does that feel? And do you have growth tips for people who want to build and are hoping to be as successful as Dmail? Can you give us that information? Walk us through that.
It feels great. But I think for me, I'm a very motivated and driven person, and so when I see the numbers growing and the speed at which they're growing. So let me give you just an idea of. I told you that you know just over a year ago we were only at like 300,000 users, and then it went to 1 million users by August. From August to the new year, just before 2024, it grew to 5 million. Now we're approaching 10 million. So you can see the speed of the traction and how it's growing.
Yeah.
So for me, actually, I don't really have time to give myself a pat on the back or even the team a pat on the back. It's just
Yeah.
constant growth and constant traction and constant motivation. And so, I think where my mind is that I have a vision of the roadmap and where we're going with this, and I have a target in my mind, and I say it all the time. Within 18 months to 2 years, I think 2 years is probably 18 months would be if everything went about as well as it could, but I think 2 years is realistic.
Yeah.
That honestly, I think we can get to 100 million users within that time, registered
Oh, for
users.
sure.
Maybe
Mm.
maybe 10 million monthly active users would be the target within that time. And the reason I say that
Wow.
is
Nice.
because we are at where we're at now, 10 million registered users with a very, very good working app. But
Mm-hmm.
it's the best is yet to come, like I said at the start of the show. And it's imagine DMail when we have the full product suite, when we have assets, asset transfers enabled, when we have the NFT marketplace, when we have the marketing hub, when we've built out everything that we set out to build out, everything is basically replicates your Gmail. But however, everything has a better value proposition in terms of it being decentralized, your storage,
Mm-hmm.
and I think at that stage, people are left with a choice, and they don't even have to be crypto natives. They could just be
Yeah.
someone who, it could be just someone, like an aunt or something, and I say to her, uh, hey, have you seen Dmail? And no, what is it? Well, instead of having the big tech use your data against you, you own your data, and
Mm.
Yeah.
you can actually make money on the platform instead of them making money off you. It's a really
Yeah.
simple way to put it, but that's essentially
They're
what.
sold. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, oh, really? So let me try it. And then the user interface
Mm.
and experience is very similar to Web 2.
Yeah.
And then, however, they're able to do a lot more cool things on the platform,
Yeah.
with the Web 3 element. And so, I think it's for me that's very exciting. That it's all about the roadmap being built out and the value proposition coming to the fore. That's why I think we can easily 10x within. And actually, I would say even our current traffic and our current growth would support that
Mm.
hypothesis as well. But I think probably that's a low end estimate of 100 million users,
Mm.
registered
Yeah.
users, within 2 years. But let's say that's where we get to. I mean that would put us in a very remarkable position, and
Oh, for sure.
I really do think that messaging is something that's been cross-chain messaging is something that has been missing. It's been a fragmented landscape, Web3,
Mhm.
where chains haven't always interacted well with each other, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cumbersome process, right? And so I think the DMail is really solving those kind of pain points, and yeah, it's
Mhm.
very exciting. And so, you asked me, Julian, how do I feel? I'm proud of what we've accomplished so far, but my main focus is not on the past or the present; it's on the future and where we're going with this.
I agree. Yeah.
Now.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah. Go. Those are great actually, and great work with you and the team. Going back to ICP, just circling back again, and this is something that I'm keen on also on knowing, and I guess our viewers or developers will be watching right now or will be watching on replay. The use of other chains, of course, this is the
Oh
narrative
yeah.
also for ICP. We're talking about multi chains. Um, use of other chains from ICP versus other chains that you
Mm.
have. You mentioned 25. What are the differences? What are the experiences? Share your thoughts. We want to know, especially on the developer side and the builder side of it.
I mean, in terms of the developer side, when you integrate chains, of course it's easier to integrate EVM compatible chains because they have
Mm-hmm.
the kind of ready-made code base that are very similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so ICP is obviously quite unique in its architecture, non-EVM, and
Mhm.
I mentioned earlier about reverse gas model and so on and so forth. But for me, as a user and somebody who fell in love with ICP's tech stack from the start, really, it's blazingly fast. I personally love the NNS. They call it the world's largest DAO, don't they?
Yeah.
The NNS, and I've got. I've certainly got some ICP that's locked up. I'm part of the 8-year gang. I'm proud to say, and so again,
OG.
yeah. Well,
OG.
again, I mean, somebody who has the courage of his convictions and actually puts his money where his mouth is, and
Yeah.
believes in the project. So that's a disclaimer. I am invested a little bit in, well, quite a bit in ICP, and so yeah, I love the chain. I love what it does. And I think that what I'm really excited about, it's interesting, isn't it, that you hear these burgeoning narratives like DPIN, and
Yeah.
DMAIL is going to be utilizing DPIN. We've known about it for a long time.
Yeah.
We're building out relay nodes, right? So we're going to be
Mm-hmm.
decentralizing our network further through relay nodes, and we'll have tokenized incentives for that. Very similar to what ICP did,
Yeah.
So ICP has actually been ahead of the curve in terms of DFIN for a long time. I was talking with Herbert Yang, and Herbert, I had him on a show, and Herbert's like, DFIN's something that's ICP's been doing for years. There's
Yeah.
nothing new, and it's quite true. And but narratives are narratives. The other huge narrative right now is AI, and we all saw
Yeah.
the fantastic video with
Mm.
Dominic Williams, showcasing AI within a smart contract, and I thought that was fascinating, and obviously there was a huge reaction to that, and I think we're going to be
Mm.
seeing more and more of that. Obviously Definity's got this huge R&D team, and I'm sure
Yeah.
that they are working very hard on they know whether the future of blockchain lies, and obviously it's I think there's a synergy between AI and blockchain, and I think
Mm.
they'll be they'll be working very hard on that. They already have been, and so I think that's exciting for us because those are two major technologies that we are also working on, and we actually see ICP as a major partner um, for especially AI, and
Mhm.
uh, and really that's where we want to go, because we're actually building out an AI agent and an uh, uh, AI assistant as well. So the AI assistant basically helps you with the crafting of emails and so on and so forth, and learns user behavior, multi languages support and stuff like that. So it's based on
Mm.
a GPT-4 model, but we have personalized it and done a few things there. But with the agent, that's going to learn user behavior and basically help you to organize your life as
Mm.
you work so maybe you won't need connected dApps like Calendly, which I use all the time. Maybe in the
Yeah.
future the agent will be able to basically notify you of
Mm.
meetings,
That would be amazing.
yeah.
Please.
Yeah, and yeah, and things like you can give it a short command, and it will transfer some
Oh, yeah.
USDT,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
or Ethereum or something or ICP on the
Mm-hmm.
for you without having to do the pretty cumbersome process
All
as it
this
can
and
be.
that. Yeah.
Right, right.
It's
Just source it
interesting.
all out for
Mm-hmm.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about, AI and what we can expect. So I feel it's apt to talk about the roadmap itself. So can you give us a roadmap of what's here for the email, or what can we expect for the email?
Yeah, I got a present button here. Shall I try to share the roadmap?
Yes, yes, please go
Yes.
ahead. We would love that.
Share screen. I haven't used this platform before, so give me a second.
Okay.
Here we go. That's just very intuitive, very nice. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so here we go. An article I wrote, the future of DMail network. So, when I told you that we had, planned all of this out, the amazing thing about this article was published on January 30th. This is when we had our TGE, our token generation event. So we went live with the DMail token on this date, and on the same day, I thought it was symbolic that we published our roadmap in blog form as well. And here it is, the future of DMail networks. So basically, we want to bridge Web 2 and Web 3.
Mm.
And I think we're already doing that very well.
Mhm.
Q4 2023 to Q1 2024 was all about laying the foundations. We allowed Web 2 login and we integrated L2 chains. And really what this was all about was user acquisition model. And so we understood that to get to the 10 million users we're about to get to, registered users, we had to create as many gateways as possible in the Web3
Mm-hmm.
space, but also from Web 2, and leverage those communities and bring them in and basically make as many friends as possible. That's what being a successful multi-chain project entails, right? And so that's what we really did, and the devs did extremely successfully during this period. Now, the current sort of trajectory is expanding our ecosystem. So we are developing applications and plugins. We're bringing out the marketing hub, which is essentially you could say a slightly more sophisticated version of the subscription hub I've been talking about. This actually will use AI as well for segmentation and user profiling.
Mhm.
And then I've talked about DPIN, so here it is, exactly what we're doing with DPIN in terms of using relay nodes. So that's going to be very important as well. Here we can see the actual roadmap, and yeah, the Web3 workspace, Juliana, you'll be happy to know, is actually scheduled for between Q2 2024 to Q3 2024. So the drive, the
Mhm.
meeting, chat, and everything else. And
Mhm.
I
our
am excited.
Yeah, me too. And the app as well. Let's not forget about that. The mobile app that will be out hopefully by the end of Q3 as well. And one thing I'll say about our
Mm.
devs is that they do deliver on time. So I've never known it to go past schedule. The mail
We
turn, which
love to hear it. It's
yeah,
so hard to stay on time with these kinds of roadmap, especially for,
mm,
when you're building out a roadmap, you want to be ambitious, but also rein it in, being able to work within the resources and the talents that you have. And
yeah,
yeah, that is true with Dmail. I mean, you guys have been on time and over delivering even. So
yeah,
pretty exciting. Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. And the uh, the marketing hub and mail twin. This is a hugely significant
Mhm.
quarter for us. Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. By the end of this, by the end of Q1 2025, you'll essentially have the full vision of DMail come to the fore. Now, it doesn't mean we stop building from there,
Yeah.
but by this point, we have the marketing hub. People are already getting paid to read through Mail to Earn. We'll have enterprise multi-chain mailboxes. We'll basically have the full product suite operational of what we've envisaged up to this point. We are
Mm.
having we'll be having tremendous value on the platform as well. Something a little bit of alpha for you, but in the near future, DMail will be a hub for airdrops as well, and
Yeah.
a lot of value will be given to users simply by logging in. I think they'll be able to earn by utilizing DMail. So and then We'll have the asset dashboard I was talking about, which I think is going to be tremendously important.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll also have the NFT marketplace, hopefully, that I was talking about by the end of Q3 as well. And I do think you're right, Juliana. I do think that we traditionally have over delivered, if anything. Anyone who looked at the Q1 saw that we actually achieved the Q1 part of the roadmap very, very quickly. So Q1 would have been by the end of March, and I think we'd already achieved it sometime towards the end of January. We're way ahead of.
Wow.
Crazy.
Mhm. Yeah,
People
way
at
ahead.
DMAIL, you guys are not sleeping, huh?
Our devs
Yeah,
aren't. Yeah, yeah.
How
We got a
many
it's
big.
are
very
on the team? By the way, how many are?
Yeah, we got a huge dev team, maybe 20 or more.
wow.
It does change, mostly increase. But yeah, 20, I think. We got 20 last time I checked. We got 26 full-time employees, and
Mm-hmm.
there's about 6 of us in marketing and operations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I say 6 of us, though, we have a huge amount of moderators,
Mm-hmm.
ambassadors. So moderators, we've got like
Mhm.
30 or 40. We got like
Wow.
maybe 12
Wow.
ambassadors who speak all different languages and disseminate content, and that creates a kind of network effect. Then, so
Yeah.
when you put content out there, that's disseminated on a very wide scale, and I think it's a really good idea in Web3 to do that, to create these network effects wherever possible. And people work hard, and we've got a very successful BD division as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, our ambassadors work double up, assisting with BD. We've got a very good BD manager called Bavish,
Mm-hmm.
head of BD, and he works tremendously hard. So yeah, I think we've really kind of hit our stride here, and everybody knows their role. Everybody knows what they have to do.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, well, as I say, we've got that focus, that laser focus of getting towards 100 million users.
And a
Um,
clear vision as well. Like
yeah,
you know where you're going. So I think that helps a lot too.
definitely. If you believe in the project, not only
Yeah.
from
Mm-hmm.
day one, like I have, but you actually believe in what you're working towards, it makes every day
Mm-hmm.
a pleasure to wake up
I
and,
agree.
and to see the
Exactly.
progress.
Yes.
The saying that if you enjoy your job, you never work a day in your life, and that's honestly how I
Mm-hmm.
kind of feel about email. I put in tremendous hours and I work very hard, but
Wow.
it doesn't feel like the grind to me. It just feels, sometimes my wife has to price me away from the computer, because I'm working
Yeah.
round the
Yeah,
clock.
your wife has to
Yeah.
drag you. Like,
Right,
Dan, go to sleep. Yeah.
exactly. So. But it's for the love of it, and
Yeah.
it's like your baby. You want to see it grow, and you
Uh-huh.
want to see it
Uh-huh.
you want to see it become successful, and you feel like you owe something to the
You're
community. And
nurtured. Uh-huh.
yeah, so I have no doubt. I've seen where DMail has come from. I've seen
Yeah.
DMail, as this tiny project, that launched in 2023. And by the way, I think it was one of the very first projects to deploy on ICP. People might forget that,
Yeah.
and I've seen it grow out to be this multi-chain Goliath.
This giant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's very encouraging about where we are going. But I think the as I say, the best is yet to come.
Mm-hmm.
But we're in a very good place, of course, and it's
Mm-hmm.
only going to be up from here.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
you do have that very strong momentum, and it's so exciting to um be a part of your community this early on. I mean, you already have so many great feats, but I do believe that we are still incredibly early, and the greater feats are still ahead. So we have a lot of community questions, and I want to go through as much as we can.
Sure.
So we're gonna make the answers very um I say short and sweet, but let's say short and strong. I think that's much better. So this one is from Espresso. We talked about this a little bit, but maybe you can give us more insight. So, what AI technologies are being utilized in this decentralized messaging infrastructure?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, yeah, we are building out an AI agent and
Mhm.
the AI assistant, and so we've already integrated GPT-4. Anybody who's been on the
Yeah.
platform can actually see that you are able to craft emails in different languages and give a prompt, and that's seamlessly integrated into the email interface, and so that's very helpful.
Mhm.
But beyond that, there's going to be user segmentation and profiling for businesses. There's going to be an analysis of user behavior, so it'll recommend, for example, on Subscription Hub, projects to subscribe to based on your previous activities. It will I mentioned earlier, didn't I, that you'll be able to give a brief command,
Yeah.
send $20 to you know, whoever. Uh,
Whoever. Yeah.
yeah, and it can cross chain, and then it'll basically implement it for you. And so I think I was saying yesterday in the space that I like the adage that AI won't take your jobs, but somebody who uses AI will, right? And I really
Yeah.
like that quote
Yeah.
because I think that that's really what we want to achieve with our platform. We want to achieve a productivity station
Uh
where
huh.
essentially AI is boosting your productivity. And some people have a guy that I was on a show with last night. He was saying that I'd like it if all of my emails were opened by AI and responded to. I'm not sure that I personally agree with that. I think that there has to be a personalized
Oh
element to it.
yeah.
And, I want to be able to respond, but maybe my response can be a quick prompt. I can
Uh
check
huh.
what it is, check what kind of response is given, and then sign it off and send it. So this
Correct.
can really speed things up. I get hundreds of emails a week, right? So
Uh huh.
this can be very effective. Also, UI for filtering spam, and knowing what is spam and what is genuine and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
so many use cases
Mhm.
for AI in a platform like DMAIL. You said keep it short and sweet, so I've probably already spoken too much about that. Yeah.
No, it's perfect. I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
I take it back. I prefer the long and elaborate answers, and I'm sure the community appreciates that as well. So we have another question from Espresso actually. So this one is, how can we address the challenges of email management and organization? So I think this ties back to having the AI, right? But
Mhm.
while you guys are still building that, do we have ways to address this already? And there are some people who aren't into AI yet. So, do we have options for them?
Yeah, I think so. How does the team will address the challenges of email management and organization? So yeah, I think obviously at this present point we don't have the full product suite. Full disclosure
Hmm.
on that. You've just seen the
Yeah.
roadmap that we are building it out.
Yeah.
And I think that when we do have that, you'll see that Dmail is a better option for email
Hmm.
management because it's decentralized for a start. You own
Yeah.
your own data. There's no single point of
Yeah.
failure. And that's very meaningful. In terms of
Hmm.
organization, I think that AI, I do have to say, will assist greatly with that. Beyond
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
AI, it will be pretty similar to what you would get in Gmail in terms of the product suite, and so I
Yeah.
think that can be certainly an area where
That in itself is big. Yeah. Because
yeah.
this is one thing we talked about actually, Dan. I just want to share with the viewers. We were talking about how usually with Web3 dApps, they try to change the wheel. Like you said, if it's not broken, don't change it. And the way that we can drive mass adoption as well is people, uh, they won't be knowing that they're interacting with a Web3 thing. Like it's so easy, it's user friendly. And I feel like Dmail is nailing that on the head. Like
Mm,
that's one thing that I feel like that's also one of the reasons why you guys are very strong in terms of like user acquisition, because it's so easy to use. You know, it's something people are familiar with, and you said it best. Like everything that's good with Gmail, you have with a layer of Web3 in it, and I think that's incredibly interesting.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think what you're right in the sense that email management and organization, what it boils down to is Gmail, let's be honest, has had a generation to improve the UI and the UX, right?
Yeah.
And it is a case of our value proposition doesn't come from, as you say, trying to reinvent the wheel and something
Yeah.
that works incredibly well. That's not what Dmail is about. What we want to do is we want to mimic the whole
Uh-huh.
kind of user experience, because it works and because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's intuitive.
Uh-huh.
Our value proposition lies from saying, okay, so we're going to give you a very similar platform, which even your grandmother can use, but at the same time,
Uh-huh.
you're going to own your own data, so full data sovereignty. Plus, you have a chance to, as you said,
Yeah.
Juliana, have the Web3 layer on top, do so much more on the platform, and potentially even earn from the platform for tokenized rewards from the platform, which we all know that the revenue streams trickle down only to the select few,
Mhm.
within these big tech companies. So.
Dan, I am gonna float an idea around. So hear me out.
Yeah.
um, so the thing is, I personally have different emails. Like I need one for my friends or something, just a personal email, and then one for work. I think it'd be great to have just one email, but have an option for tabs. You know, like, oh, if this email, if this user emails me, it falls under work tab and things like that. Is that something that you guys are willing to entertain or are talking about at least?
Oh yeah, definitely. We're going to have enterprise, and enterprise as you saw in the roadmap, for sure. We can definitely
Mhm.
do that, and all sorts of benefits will come with that. But also in terms of enterprise as well. I already mentioned we have the subscription hub. So basically, what that does,
Uh,
and I think it's a good chance to kind of introduce that. Is that you can be a business and you want to
Yeah.
be
mhm.
able to send out these newsletters. So I explained to
Yeah.
you about the shortcomings of the Web2 newsletter, but I'm not sure that I really explained what our alternative is,
Yeah.
which is called subscription hubs. So basically,
Hmm.
you have we already have more than 250 projects in the subscription hub. 50 of them have more than 100,000 users. The reason they have such a high amount of users is that DMail's 9 million registered users are funneled into
Hmm.
the DMail subscription center, and
Mhm.
essentially
Hmm.
they can see the dApps in or the L1s or the L2s or whatever it might be, the Web3 businesses, we shall say, in within the subscription center, and
Hmm.
then they can essentially subscribe to them. And
Okay.
so therefore, that's why we're seeing such huge subscription levels. Is that there's a kind of funnel into this area. So that's
Yeah.
very exciting. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly that's answering what you meant. But what the
That's
reason I brought
exciting
up,
for our hub.
well, yeah,
That's very interesting for us. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, and what's exciting is that then obviously the business is able to connect with these people, these
Yeah.
subscribers directly through their wallets and the
Oh yeah,
well,
for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah. So but in terms of enterprise mailboxes, yes, we are going to be using that as well, and yeah, so that differentiation of work and and
Not
different.
having to That would be so helpful, not having to create multiple accounts just so you could
Yeah.
separate the two. That would be a game changer, I feel like. We saw that in Telegram, and now people are using the Telegram folders, and it would be again great just to have that for email as well. But again, just floating that idea, and it's interesting. Your response to it got me even more excited. So we have a couple more questions. So within that answer, you mentioned how it's gonna be great and so helpful for businesses. Now, for consumers, I think this is a related question sent by Rosalind James. So, how customizable is Dmail in terms of user preferences for receiving notifications and marketing content? Right. I think
Right.
this is a great question.
Yeah, it's very customizable. So user preferences. I'm really glad this question was asked about receiving notifications, because we do have desktop notifications that are you can enable. So you can get that like you get
Oh,
with Gmail.
cool. Yeah.
What's really cool though, you just mentioned Telegram, and I was telling you about how we are trying to be interoperable with both Web 2 and Web 3
Mm.
seamlessly. We don't think Web 2 is going away.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
think what we offer is a different layer. That
Uh-huh.
really, I actually personally think Web 2 and Web 3 will interact with each other in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Web 2 is not going to die, right?
Yeah.
So we actually have an auto forwarding function which goes directly to Telegram, and there's a Telegram bot, and it's auto forwarded. So when your email comes
Nice.
in or your subscription messages, it actually comes up on my Telegram feed. Now, for me, to sign into DMail every time just to check my messages, don't really want to have to do that. So it comes
Yeah.
directly through on the Telegram bot, and I quite like that, especially before our own DMail app comes
Yeah.
out as
Yeah.
well. So that's quite good. And also we're going to have Discord and other areas too, where you can choose where to receive your notifications essentially. So it's very customizable in that
Uh-huh.
sense. And for marketing content, you're in control because you subscribe to the content that you want to receive. If you don't want to
Mm.
receive the content, you don't subscribe.
Can you
But
just unsubscribe immediately?
yes, you
Like
can.
if I change my mind. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Because
Absolutely, yeah.
it's so frustrating with other newsletters where if you want to unsubscribe, they make you go through so many, like it's a mind game. Like
Yeah,
there's so many
absolutely.
things you have to do. And
All you got
I
to do
want
on
it to
the
be so easy. Like
sorry.
it's similar
Mhm.
as like Instagram where you follow and unfollow. Would it be the same for Gmail?
Exactly the same. So
I
basically,
am sold.
yeah, within the subscription hub, all you do is you click subscribe, and if you
Uh-huh.
don't want to receive it for whatever reason, you literally just click it one more time, unsubscribed, done.
I
Simple.
love that.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and I think. But I think that people will want to stay subscribed, and they will subscribe to as many
Oh
different
yeah.
projects as possible. And the reason I say that is because the more
The
projects you subscribe
airdrops.
to, the airdrops, the rewards,
Uh-huh.
and it makes a lot of sense we all know that a lot of people out there like to farm, right? They like to farm tokens.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, believe me, in the future, Dmail is going to be the preeminent, platform where you can actually earn from your activity. You'll have hundreds of projects, in there, giving tokenized rewards, airdrops, and so on. So people are going to be very excited about what's coming. I think it's going to be like a full-time job for a lot of people, just being
Oh
on the
Yeah.
on the Dmail platform. Yeah.
I'm
oh,
putting
for
the
sure.
link of
I think
Gmail.
it's also going to open a lot of opportunities. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that was
for
a great
Yes,
being
sir. Go
question,
ahead.
Rosalind. Yeah,
yeah.
Rosalind James. Same
I
name as me as
Go
well,
ahead.
James. Yeah.
I
Um
also have
yeah, go ahead.
Dmail's links in the description box
Yeah.
updated. I'm not sure if you're not seeing it. Refresh the page. It's for sure gonna be there. Yes, sir. Is
Let's
are
get
there any questions that you
let's
wanna?
get two more questions. Maybe
Mhm.
about
Okay.
data security or something. I think that's a topic that
Yes,
uh,
so
uh,
that's actually the one that's lined up. Sir, you read my mind. This one is from
exactly.
Spitfire. I am big on security. We hear people getting wallet drained from a link sent via Gmail. Assuming Gmail is trying to be better at this, what systems are being put in place to combat these malicious links or bots?
Well, actually, we actually partnered with Slowmist, which is a security company, a major
Uh-huh.
security company, and
Mm.
they assisted us in so many different ways. We now have a spam filtration process, which took quite a while. That's not an easy thing to implement, by the way.
Mm.
Figuring out what's spam and what isn't, and I think Gmail obviously you look at Gmail and something that's you just take for granted. But when you're implementing it into a new protocol, it's there's a lot that goes into that. So you
Yeah.
know our Web 2 services, the sending and receiving of emails, was actually suspended for a month or two while we upgraded the security of it. But
Okay.
Yeah.
blockchain inherently is
Yeah.
secure.
Mm-hmm.
It's I feel like with blockchain, there's, as I said earlier, for example, there's no uh, there's a distributed network, so there's no single point of failure. There's no, you have even with storage, it's distributed storage. So we have people will be able to choose in the future about where they store their data. It can be due to the price and so on. So yeah,
Yeah.
we worked with big security firms, teams, and I think our developers as well are very security conscious. And just as I say, just being on blockchain
Yeah.
itself, I think has
Yeah.
inherent advantages. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah.
sure. So you mentioned that you guys are partnering up with a security. What is it
Slow
again?
mist.
Sorry.
Slow mist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Slow Miss. Yeah. So they're one of your partners. So Clark Butler wants to know, as he cares about partnerships and your backers, can you also list some of the well-known names that you guys are partnering up with?
Oh goodness, yes. So
Name
we
drop them. Let's go.
yeah. Well, goodness me, we've so grants are a very good endorsement of any project. We have
Yeah.
received
Yeah.
grants across multiple chains. Definity
Mm-hmm.
has given us multiple grants.
Yeah.
We've received grants from B&B chain. We were actually the Innovation Excellence category award winners on B&B chain. So there's a few different fields, and we
Wow.
actually got the first prize on that with unbelievably strong competition in that field. I
Mm-hmm.
think there were 20 dApps shortlisted, and we came first. We won that. We've received grants from them, Manta. We're partnering with IATEX, who just got a $50 million investment for DeepIn, and they're going to be helping us to pioneer the DeepIn. For AI, I already mentioned we're working very closely with Definity, and this is the
Mm-hmm.
advantage of being multi-chain as well, is that certain projects will
You
have
get to
special
have
areas.
the
Yeah.
resources.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Interesting.
there's
Interesting.
certain areas of specialization as well, right? For certain chains, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can get good advantages in that sense. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
so I think we've received grants from about 8 chains, Space ID even, which is a DID service. Um, we actually have more than 300 partners. And when I say
Mm-hmm.
partners, we
Wow.
often have projects that reach out. So DMAIL, anyone's welcome to check. We have about 550,000 followers on Twitter. We have,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think, between the Telegram and Discord as well, and everything else, we have more than 1 million social followers, right? And so
Yeah.
we get projects come to us and say to us, "Oh, how about announce a partnership? We want to." It's based on what? What's the tangible here? Just let's just be partners. So that's crazy to me. I always
Yeah.
know
Yeah, yeah, for
we
sure.
have we yeah we have a policy where we have to integrate some tech, or we have to, there has
Some
to be
value
value.
exchange.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. It's
Mm-hmm.
um they have to be using our subscription hub, something like that.
Yeah.
So we actually have more than 300 partners at this point with tangible
Mm-hmm.
benefits as well. And so, in terms of our backers, we've had
Mm-hmm.
fantastic backers. There you go. Hashkey, Draper, Amino, KuCoin,
Yeah.
Hanggang,
Big names.
Hanggang
Yeah.
Ventures. That's Korean.
Big names. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've integrated on multiple chains. We've partnered with WorldCoin for the World ID.
Yeah.
So DMAIL has a lot of friends, certainly in the blockchain space. Good backers, as you see there. So yeah, we feel very good about our partnerships. It's a great question. I'm glad it was asked. Yeah.
Future is
Very
bright,
good.
and with everything that you have been, sharing with us, I can see a lot more partnerships. And I love that you mentioned that you're not just willing to partner up with anyone just for the hell of it, you know.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of, I think that's also a huge mistake of not just Web3 projects, but all projects, where they just partner up again for the
Yeah.
sake of it without value exchange.
It's
So I
disingenuous.
love, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so I feel that with everything you laid out, you have been so strategic, intentional with how you are building, what you are building, and it reflects, the numbers don't lie. That's the reason why they're there, because again, you're so strategic and intentional with it. Now, I think, Dan, you are the perfect person to, talk about this, not only because of your involvement and how long you've been with email, but also because of your story of where you came from, being a literary professor to where you are now, the powerhouse behind this Goliath. I think it's really, really inspiring, and it's one that Filipinos, I feel, really need to hear. That you don't have to be. It's a bonus if you are in the IT space now, or you're in computer science, but if you come from a different field, you know, you could still venture into this. So with that said, I know that was long, I'm so sorry. But
No,
with
no.
that said, um I want to hear from you. Like, maybe can you encourage some Filipinos to build and to just harp on the idea that there's space for everyone in
Yeah,
this.
definitely, definitely. I mentioned I was perfectly happy in the Web 2
Mm.
space, and reasonably successful as a professor. And there was web. I always say to people, the blockchain, the Web 3 found me. I wasn't looking for
Yeah.
it. Kind of
Uh-huh.
came to me, and sometimes it's amazing how life unravels and where you find yourself. But yeah, I
Mm.
love it. I love what I do with DMAIL.
It shows.
Um, I think the reason I love it is because there's an ethical consideration. I really
Mm.
genuinely feel that big tech has overstepped the mark. That's what actually got me involved with Dfinity in the first place. I
Mm.
liked the idea of reimagining the internet because I don't like big tech as the arbiters of truth, as
Yeah.
trying to tell us about what I think that everybody knows that the algorithms in the past have been manipulated
Mm. Oh
to
yeah.
suit the own ends of the people at the top of these projects. And so you know that's actually what got me involved. And now my driving force is it's better that you have a distributed economy where you have um, you know many people having a shared revenue stream rather than just a few fat cats at the top um,
Yeah, yeah.
get reaping all the rewards. I don't think it's right.
Mm.
And so that's what really gets me out of bed every day and motivates me, as well as my team. And
Yeah.
I just like to see the growth. It's fun. But really connecting with what you say, what would be my message? Everyone, there are a lot of smart people, very smart people in Web 3,
Mm-hmm.
but everyone has a niche and everyone has something that they can offer.
Yeah.
And for me, that was being a storyteller. I was a literature
Mm-hmm.
professor.
Agree.
I'm somebody who um, communicates and
Yeah.
enjoys interaction with people. And now, what I found in this space is that you get a lot of very smart people, but they're focused on the tech, right? And they're focused on
Mm.
building. And the surprising thing is that there are a lot of builders and a lot of smart, kind of mathematical minded geniuses in this space, but I don't think there are so many people who can tell the story about it and and and
Mm.
and and make the narratives. And so really I
Yeah.
think that every project needs somebody to get out there and to build a narrative about what the company is and what it's
Yeah.
doing. And if
Mm-hmm.
that project and it's not only about telling the story, but then you have to make sure it's disseminated and that
Yes.
the right message is being told. And sometimes maybe
Mm-hmm.
the message is the wrong message, so you've got to be able to recalibrate and
Yeah.
to get the right message across, because you can believe in a project very strongly yourself, but you have to
Mhm.
be able to get others to believe in the same as you. And so I think that was my niche on a personal level. I'm
Yeah.
not the most technically brilliant person in the world. I'm quite new to blockchain, 2021, right? So
Yeah.
I've learned as much as I can in the time that I've been here. But the fact is that I'm not building the tech. I have an idea of what I want our product to do, and
Yeah.
I we have these very constructive meetings where we talk about what can improve
Uh-huh.
the DApp and our products and services and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
But the fact is that you know we are focused in operations on growth, and you don't have to be technically brilliant. So find an area
Yeah.
you're interested in, and that you have a niche and that you're confident in, and go for it. And I think that if you're actually good at something, then you don't have to force the issue. People will come to you.
Mhm.
That's really what I found in Web3, and I think that you know a lot of people think that just to finish, I think that a lot of people
Mhm.
think that the obstacle is too high in Web3. Oh, there are too many smart people in the
Mhm.
industry. That's honestly what I thought.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand that Web3 is a blossoming industry. There's a lot of there's it's well funded, and
Yeah.
so you know people are needed to grow this ambition and these ideas out. And you have to understand as well that as you guys know, the onboarding after in every bull run that is so huge that the
Yeah.
workforce can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
And that is honestly my message, is that
Uh-huh.
I think there's a lot of positions out there to be filled, and
Mhm.
that if you're ambitious and you're a quick learner and you're confident enough to put up your hands and say, look, I'm going to make some mistakes here, and I'm not going to be perfect. And but hey,
Uh-huh.
this is a burgeoning industry. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody is kind of finding their way forward.
Exactly.
So like, put your
Mhm.
ego aside
I agree.
and
Yeah.
go for it. That's what I say. Make the mistakes. Don't be scared.
Good point.
That
Great,
is
great.
very, very strong. Dan, you are incredibly inspiring, you know. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you are incredibly busy. You don't sleep, your team doesn't sleep. So we truly appreciate you being here. And again, it's truly inspiring, you know, your story and what you are building. So it's always amazing to hear directly from, you know, founders and COOs these narratives. So again, Dan, thank you so much for being
Thanks.
here, and we hope that once you have, you know,
Yeah.
the AI built out, maybe we can go back here, try
We can
it, show
invite you again,
everyone how
Daniel.
it works, right?
Yeah, I
In
plan on
six
going to the
months.
Philippines soon. Where in Philippines are you guys based? Because I think I'll go there for a vacation at some point.
Oh, we have to meet. Yeah, Metro Manila, Quezon
Cool.
City.
Manila, yeah, I've been there before. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
went to
just ping
Boracay.
us. Yeah, ping us if you're here. We can
Yeah,
bring you to
sure.
Web3 events, activities here. You
Okay,
can
yeah.
meet people here,
Oh,
and
we'll
let's do
take care of
something.
you. We'll
Let's do
make
something.
sure
Yeah.
you eat the best food in the
Oh, I love the
Philippines.
Philippine food. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. When I went to Boracay, the most beautiful beach I've ever been on. White
Ah,
sand,
yes.
really nice there.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
Dan,
I've
you
been
are
promoting it.
generous. You live in Busan.
I've been
Busan's
promoting
nice.
it
Right?
since
Busan's
foundation.
nice. Yeah, Busan is good. Yeah.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to
So
see you.
we're so excited. Hopefully, we get to host you and we do something amazing, because I feel like, yeah, DMAIL is great, but I feel that a lot of Filipinos could also benefit. So if we cook something together, I think it's gonna be so explosive. So again, Dan, thank you so much, and we'll have a separate call for that. We'll make it happen. We'll work on it.
That's
Thank
good.
you again. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Daniel.
Kamsahamnida.
Looking
Nice
forward
to
to
Yes.
see
see you.
you.
There. We'll see you very, very soon, Dan. Thank you again. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a
Bye
good one.
bye.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Dan. All right, sir. I am so energized. If you guys don't know, I am actually in California, and it's 4 nag-start tayo at 4 a.m.
At
my
least
time.
nagising ka na,
So it's been
nagising ka na.
crazy. Yes, I am very, very awake now. Everything Dan said was so, so exciting. As a user, I think yun yung mga hinahanap mo, projects that excite you, projects that will actually contribute to your life. And I feel like DMail is that. And with what it is now and what it's trying to be or going to be, it's very, very exciting. And I can see a lot of people in the comments, echoing that, no, napaka excited nila, ang dami. Ayan, sabi ni Sainty, patry daw natin sa kanya ang balot. We are
Balot.
definitely uh,
Ano yun, balot ba yan? Ano, election balot ba
balot
yan?
na ano lang, na
Nag-double
double
L.
L lang siya. Yeah.
Election
Oo, baka
balot. Yeah,
nasa
tama, balot.
baka
Dapat.
4 AM din kay Sainty. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, thank you everyone. Ang dami nag-aano na comment. Maraming salamat. We appreciate
Thank
you guys
you.
kapag nag-interact kayo, and with all the questions that you have been sending. We actually had 5 questions, but yung kay Espeso na doble. So technically we have 4 winners. Espeso, Rosalind James, Clark Butler, and Spitfire. So just message us on Twitter so that we
Yeah.
know that you guys are following us as well. And
And
then
yeah,
uh
abangan sa Twitter din kasi we still have the 20 DMail
yes.
yeah, domain.
Sir, pwede
And
ba ako sumali diyan? Because I
oo
am
nga 'no,
interested in
tama
that.
'no,
Yeah, I
magtabi
will
tayo
I
sa
will be
atin.
joining that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then
So, go ahead,
yeah,
sir. Go
follow
ahead.
lang sa Twitter. We'll do the
Sir,
contest there.
I would like to hear what you thought of the interview and everything that has been laid out sa episode na to.
Dmail can be a game changer actually, and this is something that I think most of the Web3 projects that need to, alam mo yun, nasa Web3 ka na, gamitin mo na rin yung mga ibang Web3 project.
Yeah, use it. Tama,
Yeah, it
tama.
doesn't have to be solely yun lang. Of course, you still have your Gmail and everything.
I mean, yeah, even Dan uses Gmail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but let's try using na no Web3 projects. It's seamless. Right now, I've been using OpenChat. It's seamless. Dmail will use it for hub subscriptions. Tama si Dana na mention niya, no, and projects can also grow amongst
Yeah.
all projects within the Dmail because there's some type of subscription visibility there.
Uh-huh.
Wherein the other ano rin, followers din ng iba can also subscribe to us kung nandun
Yep.
tayo sa kanila. So that's one way of growing, and a lot of good points in network effect na na-mention niya. That's something we
Mhm.
can also pattern to, no? And have
Yeah.
ambassadors, have moderators more as we grow forward. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Again, they are very strategic and intentional with how they're going about this. And it's interesting not only as a developer but also as a user, because they've thought of it parang two sides of the coin. How can we make this better for businesses but also for the users na hindi siya spammy. And I think that there's a fine line and it's hard to balance yon. And so far they're doing a really great job, so I'm excited for the future of email as well. So ayan, maraming salamat po to everyone who tuned in, sir. Again, would you like to remind our users and invite them sa ating very first national hackathon?
Yeah, nationwide hackathon is still ongoing, around 255,000 pesos in pool prize. Malaki ito, no, para sa 3 winners, no? And
Yes.
what's more important here is yung resources, yung education
Mm,
is available online, available on
yeah.
YouTube, available on Telegram, available kahit sa ang platform, no? Even you Google it, you'll be able to see all the resources. If you just go follow us on Twitter, yeah, you'll be able to see that. And we also have a link tree and even online platform resources are there. What we need is your time. So time to
Mm.
learn, and we do that on a daily basis. No, sometimes we do not know kung ano yung ginagawa natin. We'll just yeah, watch a series and TikTok and yeah. But you can spend time, a little bit of time, and can change your lives. You'll never know.
One
It can,
hour a day, it doesn't hurt.
yeah,
Habang
one
naghihintay
hour a
kayo
day.
sa pila, habang nagko-commute, let's, I
Yeah,
think 2024, kahit April na, tama ba? April? Oo, sorry, nalito ako for a
yeah,
while. Kahit April na, it's not too late for resolutions, you guys.
yeah.
And I
I
feel
always
like,
compare it with
right?
learning a different language. No? I think ito na rin yung isang goal ko no, on my personal time is to learn a new language, you know. And
Korean, sir. Opa.
well, no, but yeah, this is learning a new language, and it always benefits you. No, it's always something
Yeah.
that you can use when you go
Mm.
out of the country. If you go out and work, you know, a smart contract development. You were able to deploy your CV on a smart contract. You have a website and as a smart contract. It really helps, no? Kunyari, gusto niyo mag-interview, you want to go in sa Web3 space, ipakita nyo lang yung link. It's the
Yeah.
platform is there. Pakita nyo yung GitHub nyo. You're able to do this and that. And
And you know, go ahead,
we've
sir.
been pushing this education that is free. And I can see, you know, in a few years, may bayad na rin to, no? Parang mga Python right now, Rust, and JavaScript, no? Language na
Mhm.
tinuturo.
It's definitely a skill now. Once you learn it, it's going to be opening a lot of doors for you.
Yep.
Whether ituturo mo or i-apply mo, whether you build something for yourself or for
Yeah.
other projects, it's a win-win situation. So please take advantage of that. We do have yung live streams as mentioned. Meron na tayong mga nangyari before. And what's great about that is if you subscribe sa YouTube natin, you will see yung mga previous streams natin. So you can watch them at your
Yep.
own pace. I know sometimes may mga araw na ganado kang mag-aral. May mga araw na parang, okay, 15 minutes lang ako today. And I think as long as you show up and take, kung 15 minutes lang kaya mo today, go ahead. Kung 1 hour, 5 hours, go ahead. Just take it as you can.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have recorded them for you. Naka-live na sila, recorded pa. So these are free resources available at your disposal anytime na ready na kayo or anytime you want, basically. Also, if you guys don't know, we do have IC Premio. These are weekly parang giveaways, weekly games. So we're trying to make the community, just to make it fun. No, hindi naman lagi dapat tech
Gcash.
talk as
Sayang
well.
din yan. Yeah.
Yes. So we're giving away iba-iba, no? So we're gonna be giving away ICP, sometimes GCash. So for
Yep.
this particular week, it's GCash and we have the four winners right here. So ganun po ang mangyayari. We're gonna have yung weekly and then we're gonna announce them sa IC story episodes natin. So for this week, our winners of 250 pesos GCash are Mark Anthony San Juan, JV Ilagan, Gani Gabriel, and
Congrats.
John Paul. Maraming maraming salamat po for participating and congratulations. So, ayan, if you want to participate in that or you know someone who wants to, go ahead and join our community, Telegram, Facebook, etc. Doon tayo nagpo-post ng mga yan. So, we're gonna be doing this weekly, you guys. No? So, it's gonna be pretty exciting. And if you have
And
any
I
ideas
want to add,
or
no?
any requests,
Sorry, go
ano po,
ahead.
sir? Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. Nawala ka. Akala ko nag-pause ka. But I do.
I don't know. If you have ideas or requests na gusto nyong gawin natin, gusto nyo pa live na games, we can do
Yes.
that for you. Just let us know. And ayun, we'll do that
And
definitely for
meron
our community.
meron tayong malaking prize this April. Abangan niyo 'yun. We're
Ooh.
looking at we're looking at an Apple M3 laptop giveaway, no. Abangan niyo 'yun soon. We will launch just to bring education more easier for you, no. So you have to bring in your friends, no. Encourage niyo 'yun. Abangan niyo 'yun together with our partners, si DevCon PH, follow them na rin. And yeah, watch out. Marami pa this April.
So many exciting stuff. Ang dami na nangyari, April pa lang. And we have so much more in store for everyone. So please be a part of our community. And as usual, maraming maraming salamat po for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. Thank you, everyone. See you on the next one.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Sir Nelson. Bye-bye.